Hi YouTube, it's me Josh again. This is a pressure gauge I bought for my steam engine. Hopefully you can see that alright. That is reading about 3 psi right now. I'm doing this just to see how, I have done quite a bit of tinkering just to get this set up right. I replaced the gasket set for the front window. I had to shim that. I still have my cold. Right now it's about 5.5, or actually now it's 5.5. I've tried this. This has gotten all the way up to about 19.5 psi. And after that, leakage just takes over. Yeah, it's quite a lot of leakage for this engine. Sorry about this haphazard. Man, that steam line's hot. I'm just trying to make this work right. So, for you, the YouTube viewers, you can see it now. It's about 13.5, about 14 psi now. This boiler can get up steam pretty fast. As you can see, this leaks quite a bit. It's not leaking right now, but it does leak. I'm gonna try and make this short. Probably won't happen. I don't really know. The slower I move the engine, the quicker this builds up pressure. It kind of just stalls around 19 psi. If I do more work, shut the heater off, pressure obviously will go down. Right now it's sitting about 17.5. I'm just doing that as a small load. I can run my erector set no problem. This gauge gets real hot too. Right now that safety valve is leaking off quite a bit, as I can feel it. Trust me, it leaks off quite a bit. You can't see it with that, but it is. Now it's at 18 psi. Now the psi is going down. As I opened up the throttle, now it's about 16 psi. Hopefully you can see that. This is just a cheap $1 flashlight I got at Dollar Tree or Dollar Store. Very nice. The belt came off. That's why you saw a big pitch change in the engine. Now it's at 17.5. Now it's about 16 psi. Yeah. Pressure the relief valve isn't leaking as much now because it's under 15. You can see there's a ton of steam coming off the front gauge. A little bit of steam coming off the safety valve. And I think there might be a leak on the boiler. I'm kinda not sure about that. Yeah. To see if that's true, I just put that collar over there. That way the steam comes out there. Nope, the boiler's not leaking. Kinda happy for that. Now we're down about 14 psi. And we're at half split gauge of gauge of water. As you can see, that thing, the gauge leaks more when at high pressure versus than at this lower psi. Seems like it's holding 14 psi pretty steady. Sorry you can't see that, but now you can. Darn that again. You have to unplug this. As you can see, it's still holding 14 psi pretty good. We're at about a quarter of a gauge. No, it's at 10 psi right now. You start to see the pressure go up a little bit more. I had to do a shim there, had to do a lot just to get this thing to work right. I have used the gaskets. There's some old ones in here, so I just can keep them all together. Yeah, haven't used the light bulb yet, but I'll get to that soon. It's a I don't know how many volt bulb. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll crack out the 70 and see how many volts there are coming out of that generator at about 10 psi. Who knows? Yeah, I was kind of scared that this right here was leaking. I guess it was just the steam coming off this safety valve. there when smokestack, that thing always comes off. Now it's down about 8 psi. If you didn't know, PSI stands for pounds per square inch. So I don't know how many square inches inside this boiler. Yeah, at 100 square inches at 10 psi, or actually make it 10 square inches, that's 100 pounds of force along that whole surface area. Now it's about 5 1/4 psi, and the thing is just ticking along just fine. I'm just cleaning up the water that is coming off this right here. Yeah, I actually kind of like this pressure gauge. As you didn't. Here's the whistle that was in its place before I got the pressure gauge. With this style, you can't use the whistle. There's another one on Mini Steam that you can, but it's so darn expensive. This engine will quit about 2 or 3 psi. Then I have to use this to pry open the safety valve to relieve all the pressure. Happy steaming.